I now give the floor to the representative of Afghanistan, His Excellency Mr. Ghafoorzai, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. For the fourth time since 1992, the United Nations General Assembly is taking under its consideration the agenda item entitled Emergency International Assistance for Peace, Normalcy, and Reconstruction of War-stricken Afghanistan. Obviously, the main objective is to evaluate and assess the evolution of the situation and the success of the United Nations efforts conducted by a special mission for Afghanistan towards the implementation of related resolutions and bringing about peace and national reconciliation in war-stricken Afghanistan. As far as the Islamic State of Afghanistan is concerned, we would like to present our assessment of the situation during the past year and elaborate the reasons which hindered the implementation of last year's resolution on Afghanistan, 8/49/140. The present impasse in Afghanistan could be analyzed from different angles on the basis of diverse views and conclusions. One fact is, however, certain, a reality, that interference in Afghanistan's internal affairs not only is prevailing, but is taking wider dimensions, and as its product, the conflict is continuing with all its disastrous effects on the life of the Afghan nation. This reality, as well as the tragic plight of Afghanistan, is somewhat overlooked, and effective steps to remedy the situation is yet to be taken. This is a matter of surprise, Mr. President, that even the United Nations, despite our deep gratitude for its endeavors to bring peace to Afghanistan, has somewhat taken positions which are far from supplementing a course of action conducive to the early return of peace to Afghanistan. Some contradictory and equivocal statements of the special mission about the Taliban mercenaries, for instance, could be referred to as an example. All evidences about this group have been given by now by mass media, including Pakistani press. I do not intend to enter into details about another incident in Stockholm on 1st and 2nd of June 1995, where an international conference of donor countries was held. Mr. President, the people and government of Afghanistan are thankful to His Excellency Boutros Ghali, Secretary General of the United Nations, and the head of the special mission, His Excellency Ambassador Mahmoud Misteri, for their continuous endeavors aimed at achieving a lasting peace in Afghanistan. We are committed to cooperate with the special mission to enable it to succeed in accomplishing its mandate. It is on the basis of such a commitment, as well as the realization of a historic responsibility on our part to defend our national sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity, that we are to point out some shortcomings in the endeavors of the special mission. There are failures to explicitly identify the foreign interference, as the root cause of the conflict and to recommend effective measures to terminate it. To identify and observe a logical sequence of the stages of the peace process on a pragmatic and realistic basis. To adequately and timely identify the true nature of the mercenaries called Taliban at the time of their emergence, and subsequently to reveal their well-known foreign linkage. Allow me, Mr. President, to elaborate separately on the above-mentioned items. One, in relation to the foreign interference. We firmly believe that one of the main causes of the tension and crisis has been and continues to be the foreign interference in our country. This time, we are presenting to this August Assembly additional evidences to justify our claim. In our view, the primary task of the international community towards the war-ravaged country is to put pressure on the foreign circles to end their interference in Afghanistan and to take the necessary measures to speed up the peace process by terminating such interference. Only then the peacemaking pattern could be anticipated with confidence to be implemented smoothly and step by step. In our previous statement before the General Assembly on October 4, 1995, we have presented major evidences concerning the intervention of Pakistani circles in the internal affairs of Afghanistan, A/50PV19. Since then, the occurrence of events all substantiate our rightful claims against the maneuvers of the short-sighted Pakistani circles, who, in the pursuit of their expansionist ambitions, are betting on the precious moral capital of the Pakistani nation, which is the friendship, fraternity, and trust of the Afghan nation towards the people of Pakistan. Here are a few examples. A. September 28, 1995, Reuters, under the heading Pakistan lays phone cables in Afghanistan rights, and I quote, "Technicians of the state-run Pakistan Telecommunication Corporation, PIC, have laid new telephone cables in southern and western Afghanistan to connect the war-ravaged country to Pakistan," PIC sources state, unquote. The provinces connected with Pakistani communication network includes Kandahar and Helmand in the south, Ghazni in southwest, and Herat in the west. The towns of all these provinces, Mr. President, are controlled by the Taliban. These facilities were provided to the Taliban without any kind of notification to or consultation between the authorities of Afghanistan and Pakistan. Colonel Amir Imam of Pakistan, acting as de facto governor of Herat, replied to reporters that the facilities have been established based upon the request of the, quote, local authorities, unquote. I'm wondering, Mr. President, if any accepted norms governing the conduct of relations between sovereign states would allow such denial of the sovereignty of a nation. November 5, 1995, Mr. Asif Ali, Pakistani Foreign Minister, accompanied by Ambassador Qazi Humayun, paid a sudden visit to Mazar-e-Sharif in the northern province of Balkh of Afghanistan for negotiations with Abdul Rashid Dostum, a leader of the opposition. The visit that took place was without any prior information communicated to the Afghan government in violation of all recognized international norms. The visit was based on the malicious assumption of the Pakistani government that Afghanistan is an already a fragmented country, a clear act aimed at the dismemberment of Afghanistan. Moreover, this visit was aimed at subverting and impairing very sensitive inter-Afghan dialogues to achieve national reconciliation on the basis of a General Assembly resolution dated December 20, 1994. Politically, the visit had a provocative character. Its main purpose was to sabotage the efforts of the United Nations in Afghanistan at a time when Ambassador Misteri was conducting very important negotiations with all Afghan parties involved in the peace process. December 9th, 1995, Pakistani government decided to move its embassy to Jalalabad, the administrative center of the eastern province of Nangarhar. The decision was taken once again unilaterally and without consultation with the Afghan government. Pakistani government also decided to send Ambassador Qazi Humayun and staff members of the embassy to Jalalabad. It is ironic to note that Qazi Humayun had been accredited as ambassador to the government of Afghanistan in the capital city, Kabul. He had been received by President Rabbani and had presented his credentials to him. As it is well known, Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961 codified international diplomatic relations. Afghanistan and Pakistan both are parties to this convention. In accordance with Article 3 of this convention, diplomatic agents represent the state by which they are sent in the state they are accredited. The diplomatic agents are required to promote friendly relations between the sending state and the receiving state. Unfortunately, despite these clear and explicit provisions of Vienna Convention, and contrary to the provisions of the international law in this regard, Pakistan's unilateral action to send their accredited ambassador to a provincial town is a matter of astonishment, while other countries' embassies are functional in the capital city of Kabul. These two deliberate moves of Pakistan is also to be considered as a flagrant interference in the internal affairs of Afghanistan. An unfriendly and provocative move that once again proves to the international community the design of Pakistani circles for bringing about a fragmented and divided Afghanistan, where tensions and war should continue and prevent any successful inter-Afghan dialogue. The Islamic State of Afghanistan strongly condemned these despicable acts of the Pakistani government. Mr. President, again, security forces of the Islamic State of Afghanistan captured red-handed Pakistani military spies commissioned by the Inter-Service Intelligence of Pakistan to espionage and perpetrate subversive activities inside Afghanistan. These spies confessed about their seditious actions against the Islamic State of Afghanistan. The names and lieu of arrest of these spies are as follows. 1. Ishfaq Sadiq, son of Muhammad Sadiq, ISI officer from Punjab, was collecting military and political information from different provinces of Afghanistan. He had established contacts with Afghan opposition, and while gathering information, he was captured in Panjshir Valley on September 8, 1995. He had forged documents and instruments of communication. 2. Shakil Ahmad, son of Birjan, from Peshawar, Pakistan, an employee of the Pakistan Military Intelligence, ISI. He was captured on 8 September 1995 with Ishfaq Ahmad while gathering information. He was carrying a revolver, forged documents, and secret code working lists, etc. 3. Himayatullah, son of Ghulam Hazrat, police officer of Pakistan, in fact serving the ISI, captured in Kabul on 28 August 1995